Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, author, educator, and owner of the Multicultural Bookstore in Richmond, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can also find us on my website at onceuponatimeinblackhistory.com. Our shows are sponsored by the Multicultural Bookstore, and if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please send me an email at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. Alrighty then, let's get this party started. Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I'm your host, Tamara Shiloh. Today, we are learning about a brilliant doctor, scientist, teacher, and medical pioneer whose work helped save countless lives around the world. His name was Dr. Charles Richard Drew, and he was known as the father of the blood bank. Dr. Charles Drew was born on June 3, 1904, in Washington, D.C. He grew up during a time when segregation and racism shaped nearly every part of life for Black Americans. Schools, neighborhoods, hospitals, and even professional opportunities were often separated by race. But Dr. Charles Drew was raised in a family that valued education, hard work, and determination. As a young boy, Charles was intelligent, curious, and athletic. He attended Dunbar High School, one of the most respected Black high schools in the country at that time. Dunbar produced many outstanding Black scholars, teachers, doctors, and leaders. Charles did well in school, but he also stood out as an athlete. He played football, basketball, baseball, and track. After high school, he attended Amherst College in Massachusetts. He was one of the few Black students there. He was a star athlete, especially in football and track. At first, sports seemed to be his strongest path, but a serious injury and the death of his sister from tuberculosis helped shape his interest in medicine. He wanted to understand the human body. He wanted to help people heal. He wanted to make a difference. After graduating from Amherst, he worked for a short time as a teacher and coach so he could earn money for medical school. Because many American medical schools limited opportunities for Black students, Charles attended McGill University's medical school in Montreal, Canada. There, he became one of the top students in his class. He earned both a medical degree and a surgery degree, graduating with honors. Of course he did. Dr. Drew later returned to the United States and continued his medical training. He became especially interested in blood, how it worked, how it could be stored, and how it could be used to save lives. At the time, blood transfusions were already being used, but there was a major problem. Whole blood could not be stored for very long, and at the time, doctors did not have the best systems for collecting, preserving, and transporting blood safely. This was a huge issue, especially during emergencies, surgeries, and war. If someone was badly injured and lost too much blood, they could die quickly. Doctors needed a way to have blood ready before emergencies happened. Dr. Drew focused on blood plasma, the liquid part of blood. Plasma carries important proteins, nutrients, and other materials through the body. Unlike whole blood, plasma could be separated, stored longer, and transported more easily. This discovery and improvement in storage made blood plasma extremely valuable in emergency medicine. While studying at Columbia University, Dr. Drew wrote an important doctoral thesis on blood preservation. His research showed better ways to collect, process, store, and ship plasma. In 1940, he became the first African American to earn a Doctor of Science in Medicine degree from Columbia University. Around the same time, World War II was spreading across Europe. Soldiers and civilians were being injured in large numbers, and blood plasma was desperately needed. Dr. Drew was chosen to help lead a major project called Blood for Britain. This program collected blood plasma in the United States and shipped it overseas to help treat wounded soldiers and civilians in Great Britain. Dr. Drew organized the collection, testing, processing, and transportation of plasma on a large scale. His methods were careful, organized, and effective. The program became a success and helped save many lives. Because of his work, Dr. Drew was later asked to help develop the first large-scale blood bank program for the American Red Cross. His research and leadership helped create systems that hospitals and emergency teams would use for years to come. But even while he was changing the future of medicine, he still faced racism, of course. During this time, some organizations separated blood donations by race. Blood donated by Black people was sometimes labeled and stored separately from blood donated by white people. Dr. Drew strongly opposed this practice. He knew there was no scientific reason to separate blood by race. Human blood types mattered medically, but race does not determine the value or safety of blood. He spoke out against this. He spoke out against this discrimination. He believes science should be guided by truth, not prejudice. Eventually, he resigned from his role with the blood bank program because he would not support racist policies. That part of Dr. Drew's story is very important. He was not only a medical genius, he was also a man of principle. He stood up for what was right, even when it cost him professional opportunities. After his work with blood banks, Dr. Drew became a professor and surgeon at Howard University. He trained many young Black doctors and surgeons at a time when Black medical professionals were often denied opportunities elsewhere. He believed deeply in teaching, mentoring, and opening doors for others. Dr. Drew wanted Black doctors to receive excellent training. He wanted Black communities to have access to quality medical care. He wanted hospitals to treat patients with dignity and fairness. Through his work at Howard, he helped prepare a new generation of doctors who would go on to serve communities across the country. Sadly, Dr. Drew's life was cut short. On April 1st, 1950, he died after a car accident in North Carolina. He was only 45 years old. Over the years, you may have heard the story that Dr. Drew died because a hospital refused to give him a blood transfusion because he was Black. That story is not true, from what I've learned. But the fact that people believed it shows how real medical racism was during that time. Black Americans often were denied equal treatment in hospitals and healthcare systems. Dr. Drew spent his career fighting against those kinds of injustices. Even though his life was short, Dr. Drew's impact was enormous. His research helped improve blood storage. His leadership helped create large-scale blood bank systems. His work with plasma saved lives during war. And his teachings helped train future doctors, and his courage challenged racist ideas in medicine. Thank you for joining me for Once Upon a Time in Black History. I'm your host, Tamara Shiloh. Be sure to visit Multicultural Bookstore and Gifts at www.multiculturalbookstore.com, where we celebrate stories that teach, inspire, and remind us of the greatness in our history. Until next time, keep learning, keep sharing, and keep remembering. Thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time in Black History. For more information on this topic and others, visit the Multicultural Bookstore at multiculturalbookstore.com. And again, if you want to advertise in our podcast for a mere $25, please contact me at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. See you next time.